either Max Holloway is going to win absolutely every single round and completely dominate Ilia Topuria and win a decision over him, or he's going to get knocked out. I don't think there's any other way that this fight goes. The thing about this fight, and I've said this before, like when the fight first got announced, and I still hold this opinion today, is that it is a nightmarish matchup for Ilia Topuria, and I'm gonna get into exactly why I think that. But before I do, if you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, hit the subscribe button, helps with the YouTube algorithm, and it helps grow the channel. So we all know, right, that Ilia Topuria finished Alexander Volkanovski, the guy that beat Max Holloway not once, not twice, but 3 times. You guys all know this story. And a lot of the internet is saying that, oh, well, Ilia didn't beat the best version of Volk. He beat a compromised Volk, a Volk that was not at his best, whose chin wasn't there because of the head kick KO that he suffered after a short notice fight against Islam Makhachev, which the first video I ever made on YouTube, and by the way, I'm like 1 year into doing this, so, you know, show me some love, show me some love. Anyway, 1 year into doing this, first video I ever made was that Volk made a huge mistake taking that fight, right? And like, you know, I kind of called that. Anyway, the point I am trying to make is that Max Holloway, a couple days ago in an interview, basically said that, no, Volk was at his best, right? Because his coaches and his medical staff and all these people, you know, thought he was ready and good enough to fight, and Ilia Topuria beat him, right? Now, I think a lot of us don't really buy that. I think a lot of people are kind of like, well, you know, he has a point maybe a little bit, but I think that's more of a way for Max to kind of, like, if he wins, right, to be like, see, like, I beat the best version of Ilia, who beat the best version of Volk, which means, you know, those losses, they're like, maybe that wasn't me at my best, something like that, right? So, and by the way, going back to that trilogy, I think Max clearly won the second fight. But I digress. That's neither here nor there. What I'm really getting at is I think this fight goes one of 2 ways, right? It either is a 5-round ass whooping where Max beats the brakes off of Ilia Topuria, possibly finishes him in those 5 rounds, because if it's a decision, I think it is going to Max, right? Or Ilia knocks him out, which has never happened before. Because, you know, Ilia is very precise. He's got very good boxing. You know, a lot of people say he's the best boxer. Max has made the claim that he's the best boxer in the UFC. But, you know, a lot of people praise Ilia Topuria's boxing, right? And his power. But my question to you is, does he hit harder? Is he more precise? Is he a better boxer than, you know, early Conor McGregor? Than Dustin Poirier? Is he a better boxer than, or he hits harder than Justin Gaethje or any of these other guys that Max has faced who have never scored a knockdown on him, right? A lot of people think in the last fight Justin Gaethje did get that one knockdown, you know? So I don't know the answer to that question. I doubt it. I doubt he hits harder than Poirier. I doubt he hits harder than Gaethje. Like, is he a better boxer than those guys? Maybe. Maybe he's a bit more precise, a bit more technical. But if Max hasn't been dropped by any of those guys, is he going to be dropped by Ilia? I don't think so. I really don't. So, in some way, shape, or form, Ilia is going to have to outwork and out-volume Max, really. Like, land more significant, damaging, impactful strikes. And I just, you know, that's not really, from what I've seen, that's not really his style. He's a hunter, very precise, really kind of picks his moments to do what he needs to do, right? If you watch the first round where he fought Volk there, Volk won that round, but, you know, just that moment to kind of land that perfect shot, and when he landed that perfect shot, it was game over. But is that perfect shot going to be enough to put down Max, right? And when he's waiting to land that perfect shot, Max is going to land 3, 5, 7 strikes, right? And that's where that's how I see this going. I see it either being Max putting on a clinic in the sense that he's just going to completely outwork, out-volume, out everything Ilia. Or Ilia's going to find that one shot that ends the night. Right? That's the way I see this going. I don't think there's any other way around it. Now, the other question I have to you guys, and please let me know in the comments, if you think I'm completely wrong, be like, dude, you don't know what you're talking about, right? Ilia is the greatest featherweight to ever do it, and he has, dynamite in his fists, and, dynamite can blow up stone, and whatever you think. But I just don't see, I can't see anything. But then again, right? There was the other comment that was made by Max. So maybe Max is scared of Ilia's power. Because Ilia said, I will walk to the center of the octagon, point to the ground in the first 10 seconds, and we can do your thing, and I'm going to beat you at it, right? And then Max basically said, I have a belt that says I'm the baddest MFer, not the dumbest MFer, right? And so does that mean Max is scared to do that against Ilia because Ilia has the better boxing? He's better in the pocket? Maybe. I don't know, right? I don't know what the answer to that question is. Certainly this is an exciting matchup, right? Because, if Ilia gets this done, right? And it's hard not to believe him. That's the thing, right? Like, on paper, I look at this fight, and I'm like, Max is going to do that. His style is absolutely nightmarish for a fighter like Ilia. And then a lot of people are like, well, Ilia has great grappling and wrestling. That's another tool that he could use. But I'm like, I don't remember Max ever being taken down. So he was one time, I believe, against Volk in one of their fights, but he popped right back up, right? Nothing happened. So it's like, if Ilia goes for a takedown and Max just gets right back up, so what? Right? And then some people have said, oh yeah, but the threat of the takedown makes his hands go a little bit lower. But it's like, still, is that going to be enough? I don't know. I just, there's not a spot, is Ilia's grappling threat more dangerous than, say, Brian Ortega? Or, anything like that? Because Max beat him up. Look, I'm not saying that Ilia is going to lose on the feet. I'm just saying, what threat is there from a grappling perspective, I don't know. I just don't see that. So anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that Ilia, on paper at least, to me, doesn't have a path to victory unless he lands that perfect shot that puts Max's lights out, right? But he's hard to ignore. Just the level of confidence and the level of certainty of himself, it's almost infectious, right? And I love to get behind people like that, right? I like Max, right? Good dude. I want to see him win. I want to see him back as featherweight champion, right? I want him to be able to say, I can beat every single featherweight on the planet unless his name is Alexander Volkanovski. But at the same time, just that level of confidence, that level of certainty of himself, right? Bilal Muhammad has that a little bit too, right? That's almost me leaning a little bit towards Ilia. But I'm sticking with it. 2-1 underdog. Ilia is the favorite, but I think the odds makers have it wrong here. Maybe I'm missing something, guys. What am I missing? Let me know in the comments, because right now, right here, I think Max will do enough to get the job done. I think he's going to win via unanimous decision. I think he could potentially win every single round of that fight. What do you guys think? Thanks for watching. See you next time.